guys, Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, and I'm going to bring you Cinnamon Girl by Neil Young, and it's brought to you by my awesome patrons at Patreon. They get to choose various lessons that I'm thinking about doing, and this one won, so thank you so much to the patrons, and you can check it out in the link below. All right, let's rock. All right, so this song is in drop D, so that's just dropping the E down a whole step. And it revolves around D, as Neil Young loves the drop D. So what's going on there is I'm barring across the 5th fret, starting on the A string there, and then hammering on the 7th fret on the D, G, and B. Now also keep in mind there's 2 guitar parts that are very similar, one in the left speaker, one in the right. So this is kind of a little bit of a combination of both guitar parts because they're just a little bit different. So you've got the D hammer on. For instance, the right speaker goes, and the left speaker goes. So there's a little bit, wiggle room there. I'm going 3, 2, 0 on the A string. And then 3 to 5, and I'm covering these bottom 2 string. Which with drop D, it's now a power chord with 1 finger. 3, 5. Second one. Just stays on the 3rd, doesn't go up. Now that right guitar in the right speaker does a little open strum in between. I think it sounds cool, so. I mean, you're definitely hearing that D string in there, but you could go. So all together. Now we're chiming along in a D. And so just think chimey D, and then when you go to an A minor, you make it A minor 7 instead. So that's just with the ring finger off. And if you look at the index finger there, it's 1, 0, 1, holding that chord. And then the ring finger comes down on the 2nd fret G string, so now it's just a regular A minor. So. So, I looked a few different tabs, and they're calling it having that open high E in there with the D chord. Now, they're singing that in the melody, but you could play that they can be interchanged with each other. So D, A minor 7, A minor, C, then we go to a C major, and most of the time you're hearing a guitar hit that 3rd fret B string with it. Next is a G chord, but with that drop D, you can just go to the 2nd fret A string. Just focus on that part of the chord. So from the top of the verse. So, once again, I'm combining both guitar parts together. Also, if you don't have a bass player, you know, I like hitting the lower notes in this riff. So, what I'm doing is I'm going 3, 5, 7 on those power chords, the lowest two strings. So that's 3, 5, 7. And then I'm grabbing, you can either grab just the third fret or a power chord. Or a full bar chord. Yeah, I think the note is good. Because another option is, which I believe one of the guitars is doing, which it just hops over to the 5th fret on D, G, B, and then hammered up. But to get that bass in there, I like that, for especially if you're playing it by yourself, it sounds a little more familiar. So just grabbing that, and then the D major bar chord. Then that A minor 7 riff. And then on the right guitar, so one of the guitar parts, pinky on the 3rd fret B string there. So it's like. All right, so the bridge, you can play, it starts with a C chord. And you're hearing the 3rd fret high E on that C chord, or with that C chord. On the lyric chants, it goes to a D minor chord, but the bass player is playing a G, because that's been tuned down. And then da 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 da. And so that's an A power chord, which comes from that A minor. So you could play an A power chord right there, or right there. It's the same chord. Into the solo, which is now all familiar stuff now. There's a little bit he does at the very end. If you took like a D major chord in that drop D, you took your middle finger off and you just thought of the power chord, your middle finger's free and you can hammer to the 3rd fret A string and then do the exact same thing on the next string, the D string. So holding that shape, you can hammer on the 3rd fret A. You get that drop D in there anytime you want. So that third one is hammering and pulling off on the G string right in front of that index finger. That's it. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that lesson. Once again, thank you to my patrons at Patreon for picking this awesome tune for me to do next. You can check that out in the link below. Thank you again for the continued support. Hope to see you again real soon. Take care.